So this is a do-it-yourself haircutting demonstration. I've put a coat on, I've buttoned the pockets, and so I've put the No. 6 guard on the clippers. My hair's thin on the top, so I won't cut that with the clippers, but I'll probably just trim that a tiny bit with a little bit of the scissors afterwards. So anyway, ideally put a little bit of oil on your clippers, and it doesn't really matter where you start, but if you make sure the guard's on securely, and then basically just don't press on too hard, but don't be too gentle. And then if you need to, because this is a slightly longer clipper, you can gently get hold of the hair and introduce it, as it were. By introduce it, I mean you just gently pinch it and make sure it gets into the blades of the clippers. So I can't see what I'm doing, but I should be able to. Might be handy to do it in front of the mirror. But obviously around the back it's a bit awkward to see what you're doing. So it'll be interesting to see what occurs afterwards. I've got confidence that the clipper guard will stop on, because I made sure it was secure before I even started. That's probably the biggest mistake you can make. Make sure your clippers are well oiled as well, and just gently introduce it really. I mean, you can get all fancy afterwards. If you've got some smaller clipper combs, you can put them on the end of the clipper when you've done your main shortness work. My hair's fairly easy because it's thin on the top, so I try not to cut that, and then just try and cut it around the edges, and try not to cut my beard as well. But usually it'd only be the top bit of the beard that would get cut. So you can't hear the nice blade noise at the moment. If you use your clippers too long, they might start getting warm, so it might be an idea to turn them off for say 5 minutes and just let them cool down a bit. The other thing is as well, if you do put a tiny bit of oil on the clippers, I've had to borrow these because the rest of my clippers are locked away at work. Yeah, if you put a tiny bit of oil on the clippers, you just put them on the blades, and then you basically wipe off any excess with a small tiny bit of tissue paper. So no idea how it's looking. I'm a professional hairdresser, believe it or not. You can see photographs of different hairstyles that myself and Emma, who works in the shop as well, and Graham. There's mainly myself and Emma. You can see the hairstyles that on Betty Tiger's YouTube. There's a hair gallery of different hairstyles we've done over the years, and which will hopefully show that I'm more capable of just shaving bits of hair off my own head, which I'm hoping you might be able to do as yourself, sort of thing, even though you might not have any formal hairdressing, just have watched a video, however good this is or not. So what I'm doing now is just going over and trying to smooth my hair on the top so I don't get the longer bits. I can trim those with the scissors or clippers afterwards. I'll give you a quick demonstration of that in a minute. I don't think I've missed too much, but I'll be able to I try and go right to the top with the No.6 clipper, you see, because my hair's thin on the top. I want to try and avoid like a ledge. I don't mind being a ledge, but not having a ledge in my hair. Yeah. Oh, by the way, I should ask the normal hairdresser's question. Are you deciding not to go on anywhere on holiday in the near future? I presume you're not going out tonight. Just thought I'd get the cliches over. Don't be afraid to talk to your hairdresser about philosophy and other things. While I've had this time off, I've been watching the YouTube about different philosophers and why they did. There's a chap called Socrates who got into trouble because he suggested that democracy wasn't could be helped by having some expertise involved in it, sort of thing. And he gave the analogy apparently of a captain who was on a ship, and all the shipmates voted for somebody else on the ship, and when they really needed the captain when it was going through tricky water. So maybe in times of peace and fairly good order, maybe let people decide things which aren't as crucial to the health of the nation that maybe people with more expertise have got. Anyway, but it's something you could discuss about, really. I mean, generally speaking, people go to the hairdressers, although some people are pretty good at doing their own hair. I'm not saying I'm one of them, but I'm fairly confident anyway. So I don't know whether I missed any bits. I might comb my hair in a bit. And I usually work in a bit of an unconventional way, so hairdressers aren't always impressed with my techniques. But as long as the people are happy, I always think, you know, if somebody's happy with what you've done with the hair, the best hairdresser in the world can say, oh, that's not a very professional technique. It doesn't really matter as long as you don't injure the person and they're happy with the hair. You know, it's their choice, really. Anyway, it'd be interesting to see what this looks like afterwards. I don't know whether I've missed any bits, but anyway, I could go in and get the scissors, but I'll just take a tiny bit of this top bit, and I'll probably hold it as little as I can. I could take the guard off at this point, but I just hold it into that bit. You see, that's just taking a little bit off it. Anyway, so that's I don't know what you think. I might try and do a final photograph when I've gone in and looked, and I won't make any adjustments though, so it'll be just honestly as I finished it. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope you find this helpful.